Hello and welcome to the 5-day sneak peek into what Beachbody Coaching is. And if you're in this group, it is probably because you have a few questions about what Beachbody Coaching is. You might be thinking to yourself, how do you actually become successful? Is this about taking a lot of selfies on Facebook? How do you actually go about making money? And I hate being salesy. Do I have to sell to all of my friends and family? And how do you actually get to the point where you can replace an income? I remember thinking so many of those things when I personally first started my journey with Beachbody and just wondering how in the world does somebody actually become successful at this? So let me explain to you first that I am not a fitness expert, definitely not a personal trainer. I am actually a teacher. So I guess that's sort of where my story begins. And if it's okay with you, I think the best place to start is really by telling you a little bit about me and how I got started. So my son, Nick, was about 1 year old. And I had lost the weight very quickly with him. And we decided to put money into a down payment for a house. And we stopped our gym membership and decided that we didn't need it. We could, exercise by going outside, going for runs. And we really started to lose accountability. So I was randomly watching TV one night, it was late, and I saw an infomercial for P90X. And I watched as Tony was doing all those push-ups and there was all of these pull-ups, and I said to myself, no way, no how, I can't do that, that program's too hard. And almost immediately after that, I saw an infomercial for Insanity. And I thought to myself, well, I could do that. I mean, how hard can that really, really be? So I talked to my husband and I found a used copy, I think through Craigslist or maybe it was Amazon, I'm not really sure, for Insanity. And I told my husband I was going to spend the money, I was going to do the program, and he said, as long as you follow it. So I did. So I started my journey with Insanity, and this program is designed to be done in 60 days. Guys, it took me almost 6 months to complete that program. It was hard. It was so hard. And I didn't follow the meal plans. I had no understanding of nutrition. But when I finished it in 6 months, I remember seeing somebody on Facebook talking about coaching. And I connected that the coaching thing and Insanity were some way related. So I messaged my coach and I basically said, hey, so this coaching thing that you do on Facebook, I finished Insanity. Am I like a coach? And she sort of laughed and explained the process to me a little bit more. Now, as somebody who had done Insanity without really seeing this great significant result, but loving the program and really feeling kind of fit, I decided to give it a whirl. I sort of jumped in without much knowledge, much understanding of challenge groups. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I really loved how I was feeling. So there I was. I started as a coach. I started inviting people to do Insanity. I started learning more about Shakeology. I started integrating Shakeology into my diet, and my results really started to take off. Felt amazing. But then life sort of happens, right? So I was teaching full time. I had my son, Nick, and I became pregnant with my second son, Dom, and my business continued to grow. I just made sure that I was posting about my journey through pregnancy and posting about why health and fitness mattered to me. I posted health tips, recipes, meal plans to inspire other people. And as my business grew and as my belly grew too, I started to want to be home a little bit more with my children. I loved my job as a teacher, but I wanted to extend that maternity leave. And as the story goes, and many of you know, I did indeed extend my maternity leave. And I also found out around the time that that maternity leave was extended that I had stage 4 cancer. And I remember very clearly thinking to myself, who in the world would ever want me as a health coach? Who in the world would ever want to be in my challenge groups when I'm anything but the image of health? And my friend Stacy said, everybody. everybody would want you as a coach. And that was a really big turning point in my Beachbody career. So about a year and a half into it, I realized that it wasn't about having all the answers, and it wasn't about having the perfect body, but it was about having the ability to help other people and focusing on helping one person. And around that time when I think anyone would have said, it's okay if you give up, it's okay if you don't want to do this anymore, was also the time that my business really took off. And I think a big part of that was because I wasn't focused on selling. I wasn't focused on the numbers. I wasn't focused on anything but allowing my story to help other people and providing other people with hope and giving people an outlet to understand that working out is so much more than just looking good. It's about understanding that this is the only body you ever get, and you need to take care of it. And you get one shot at this life. So if you can take care of yourself, you are going to start to see that everything else about your life seems a little bit brighter. It's not selfish. It just makes you a stronger mom. It makes you a better friend, a better wife, because you care about you. So in this Beachbody What is Coaching group, my job is to tell you, of course, a little bit about my story, and of course tell you things about our team and tell you about how you can create an income with Beachbody. But my job is also to make sure that you understand what it's like to be a coach and what that actually looks like to you, so that at the end of these 5 days, you can make a decision. Is Beachbody Coaching a good fit for me? Please make sure that you ask any questions that you might have about coaching. And I look forward to hearing your stories as well. And hopefully at the end of these 5 days, welcome you on to the Knockout Brigade. Thanks, guys.